Hi traders and welcome to the Friday Market Watch on the 14th of July. So I've seen some really big moves this week. We've seen some really big action with a lot of the positive news that's coming out just ahead of earnings season. So we'll jump straight into the chart and see if we can identify any trades for today or early into next week. All right, so we'll start out here with the Aussie USD, and you can see a massive move. Like the last 2 days have just exploded. Once we broke through those moving averages in that middle zone, you can just see that it's just absolutely taken off straight into the next resistance zone at pretty much at 69 cents. Look, this has been a beneficiary of the dollar dropping, obviously. We'll certainly jump into that in a moment. But yeah, it's been a very big move. It is absolutely at resistance now. But really, whether this resistance holds is going to depend on what the dollar index does. The euro's gone berserk. It's going to be a very interesting time. I wouldn't be expecting this to turn around until it actually gives us the signs. I certainly wouldn't be jumping in and saying, okay, we're going to go short from here because we are at resistance. Because when we see moves like this, it can be very hard to stop. So we'll certainly keep an eye on it. Look, what we're looking for, obviously, is a series of lower highs and lower lows on a smaller time frame. And that smaller time frame wouldn't want to be a 15-minute either. Like you'd want to be looking for at least a probably 1 hour change of trend. And if you got that, the next level that we'd be looking at, I'd be looking probably here. We'd want to probably go, I reckon, at the 68-cent mark, which is where this resistance is. You can see here all this resistance through this point here. That's where it would have likely stopped being actually behaving in a normal manner. But obviously, because it is going and exploding, yeah, these levels hardly hold up. But if it does come back, that's what I'd be looking for, the 68-cent mark. But it needs at least a change of trend, a 1 hour to 4 hour change of trend. And if we see that, we'd be good to go. So yeah, really good trading on the Aussie. If you were long from this double bottom that we talked about, because it was obviously a double bottom. So broke the neckline and then off it went. Hopefully you're able to jump in on that trade. But all of these currencies are going to be big moves you're going to see shortly. We're going to go through to the US dollar CAD now, and you can see just a massive sell-off. It did get up to the 50 moving average and that level where we would have expected it to find resistance here at around that 133.50. You can see all this resistance through here, which was previous support. That was always going to be resistance moving up, and resistance it certainly turned around and got going from that point onwards and down. It's effectively trying to break the previous low now. And yeah, if this candle closes here, then yeah, we can obviously assume that it's going to stay that way. And yeah, we've seen a very big sell-off down to extraordinarily lows. Yeah, given where it has been previously, like I said, this is an absolute belting that it's copped. So realistically, yeah, this was the level that was going to turn around. Whether you got in or not, it depends on the smaller time frames. Of course, you'd have to go to, it's effectively at 133.50. So I mean, if you went down to around the 1 hour, that's what you'd be looking for. You'd be looking for a change of trend around that 133.50. This was the high. Once it did that and it started to make lower lows, they were your entry points. And this is why it's always good to go to the smaller time frames, because on a daily you say, well, how do you even get in on that? But all you do is go to the smaller time frames and jump in on the things that we always talk about, pullbacks to the 20 moving average. You can see there's so many entry points that you had here, lightning bolts all the way down. And although it looked like it came down in a very fast manner, it actually came down in a very orderly fashion. And you can see you could have got in on any of these, and it was behaving itself really well in that regard. So where to from now? Look, if it pulls up from this level and back up to around that sort of 131, sort of 40 area, 50, then you could look for a change of trend on a 1 hour, look for a reversal and maybe trade it back up to the 20 moving average, and also this little mini zone here around that 132.70. But yeah, it's a counter trend now. Like this is definitely in a downtrend. There's no question about that. And yeah, and realistically, it would take at least a 1 hour turnaround to get excited about something like that. So just be really careful there. On the short side, if it continues to break past this level, just look at pullbacks to the 1 hour time frame. And yeah, just continue it down to around that 130, which is the round number and a key support zone for it. All right, we'll move over to the US dollar yen, and yeah, this one hit our second take profit target now. Like it's yeah, absolutely hit it. It got there a lot faster than I expected it would, to be honest. I know it hit our first one fairly quickly, and we had this one as our secondary target, but boy, oh boy, it got here in a week, which is actually a really big drop. We're talking about a 600 pip drop in effectively 2 weeks. That's a big move. Very, very strong level of support though. You can see we've got very strong resistance through this area here, through there, and again through there. So if it is going to pull up, this is the area you would expect that it would. But again, when it comes down in, 5 or 6 daily candles, to the extent that it has, you've got to be very, very mindful that momentum may not stop. So it's a real wait and see on this one. If we do get a rounding bottom, I'd like to see probably a week of consolidation around this area. I wouldn't really trust one candle. If we see a series of, just consolidation and then some higher high, higher low sequences on a smaller time frame, then maybe look at trading it back up to the 140, which it gave no respect to last time, but there was definitely respect, throughout the early June period. You can see right through here. That would be the level I'd expect it to return to if it round bottoms here and changes trend. But if it continues on, look, the next level again is down to the 135. So, big moves on the yen. And like I said, this is the story for the day. Very, very big moves. The dollar index is where it all started, of course. Big drop, double top at the 200. We talked about this the other day. No real surprise that it sold off from there to the extent that it did. That couldn't have guessed that. But it broke right through that support level through here at around the 160 point. And then it didn't even respect the 100, broke right through. Very, very difficult to trade now. It was easy up here. Could have easily got that short because we talked about it. But getting involved now is a dangerous game because it's at that 99 to 100 zone that can be a little bit difficult to get into. So be really mindful of that. If around bottoms, similar to what the currency is doing, of course, if it does that, we could look at potentially trading it back up to the 120 zone. So I'll take it out to a weekly because, you nearly have to do that to see where the next real point is. It hasn't been here for a long time, but we've got a 200 on a weekly, fast approaching. But again, that's a very rare touch. So, I don't totally believe it's going to hold there, but it may. We do have previous support at that point, was resistance that will become support at around that sort of 99.20 area. You can see right through here. But again, it needs to stop there and consolidate. I wouldn't be jumping in on the first trade, that's for sure. The euro, of course, is the one where you'd be trading, and this has just been absolutely beautiful from a trading standpoint, a technical analysis standpoint, in the sense that it landed where it needed to land. It took off. This is the weekly, though, of course, you can see, but you can see the high, high low sequences on the weekly now have absolutely played out. We'll go over to a daily chart, and you can see that obviously same deal, series of higher highs and higher lows, absolutely uptrend now on a daily. But it respected every level like it should have. As you can see, pull back down to the 20 moving average, mini double bottom there. That's just absolutely perfect when you're trading and looking for entry zones like that. Really, really good trading. It broke the previous resistance, which it needed to do, obviously, to take it seriously. So it's broken past the 110.50. But where it goes to from now is, it's almost anyone's guess. It hasn't been here for a long time, but the level that we would be looking at as a resistance point is the support zone through here. You can see we've got to go quite a bit out. Late 21, early 22 is when it was here. And you can see it actually was here for a very long time. Okay, so it hovered in this area and found support here for about 3 months. So you would expect that if it's going to stop, this is the area it's going to find resistance. But again, when a market's moving so quickly and so aggressively, you want to be pretty brave to be standing in its way. So I would let it settle down. If we see a series of lower highs and lower lows at this point onwards, next week, I would be looking at a move down to probably the 110.50 as a bit of a pullback, and that would be a reasonable pullback. That would probably only be about 38.2 fib of that big first move, but I wouldn't be going anywhere near it until it actually did that. Okay, so it's very, very important that it does that. In terms of trading it, like I say, if you go to a 1 hour chart, you can see here on the 1 hour how the higher low sequences played out. And again, very similar to the other one that we saw before. If you're trading a 1 hour and you're trading pullbacks to the 20 moving average, which is what we talk about every single day, you would have got about 5 different entries. So as much as it looks aggressive, you would have been able to get in on that trade. All right, last one is the S&P 500, of course, and it's been the same deal. It's been basically ramping up, a series of higher highs and higher lows all the way. This was absolute trading perfection. We already know we were in an uptrend, landed on the 20 moving average, came up, made a new high, came back down, touched the 20 moving average again, and then off it went. Okay, it gave us a hammer candle on the 20 moving average to boot. and then off it went. Now it's made a new high, and very, very fast tracking to the next target of around that probably 4,550 level. That's what we've got there. The Russell did lead us. The Russell has been leading the S&P 500, so no real surprises here. And I would expect that strength to continue, throughout the next US session. If we wake up Monday morning and we're right at the 4,500 level, I'd be probably looking at opportunities to reverse it back down and bring it back down to probably 4,450, maybe a 100-point pullback, because it's unlikely that it's going to continue running that way, especially when we're going into earnings season. We're going to be dependent, obviously, on how countries are reporting, or companies are reporting, sorry. So, yeah, look, one to just watch, really. If you're not already in it, you should have already been in it from down here when it did reverse and turn around down here, because that was a perfect pickup point. And you could have easily taken profit there and be comfortable. And this is the secondary zone. If it reaches it, like I say, that's where I'd be looking at taking profit if you are long already. But if you're not and you're looking for a trade, probably wait for it to be getting there and then look for a rounding top. So hopefully you're able to take advantage of some of these great trades this week. We've seen some really big breakouts, but they all did take off from the key levels that we've been talking about. So hopefully you're able to capitalize on some of those. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.